For this video, we're going to learn how to do a double needle right angle weave. Double needle is extremely easy. Take one length of thread and thread a needle onto each end of the cord. The type of cord that I'm using is a size D Nemo thread in a red color so that you can see what I'm doing, and the type of bead that I'm using is a 5mm Swarovski bicone in a turquoise color. I will be referring to these for this video as seed beads because that's what's most commonly used. All you do is pick up one of your beads on one side of your thread. Bring it all the way down to the very middle of your cording. Come back to your needle ends and pick up one seed bead on each end. Bring both of your needles together and thread those beads all the way down. Pick up one seed bead with this needle, thread it onto the cord, and then take your other needle and pass back through that bead the opposite direction with which you went through the needle the first time, with the other side of your thread. When you pull this tight, you should wind up with a nice loop with all four of those beads that you had on. To make your next unit, pick up one seed bead with each needle, bring your needles together, bring those two seed beads all the way down, and then pick up one seed bead with your one needle, bring it onto the cord, and then bring your other needle and come back through the opposite way that you went through with that first needle, and pull your cording tight. This is a double needle right angle weave. Continue with this stitch until you have as many right angle weave stitches as you need to complete your pattern. If you're doing a double needle right angle weave that requires you to make more than one row, this is what you do to make the turn. My next row is going to be off to the right, so with my left thread, I've thread on two of my beads, and with my right, I've only thread on one. When I pull this right thread nice and tight, this bead will form this side of my double needle right angle weave. I can leave this thread alone. With my other thread, however, you'll notice that the thread is coming out of the top of this side bead. I'm going to take my needle and come down through that side bead and pull my stitch nice and tight. Now, instead of having both of my threads coming out of the top bead, they're coming out of this right bead. Your next step now is to pick up that one thread, your right thread that you worked with initially, and now this is your left thread. Pick up two more beads and pull this nice and tight. What you have now is the top bead and the right bead of your second row. And with your right hand, pick up what used to be your left cord. Only thread on one seed bead and pull this nice and tight. This is actually your bottom bead of your second row. Set this needle down, pick up the other needle that had these two seed beads attached to it, and now come through the opposite way on this bottom bead. Pull tight, and now you have your thread coming out of this bottom bead of the first unit, or if you're looking at it the other way, the top bead of your second unit. So this is what it looks like, and you'll continue stitching as before, only this time you'll take your thread, if it's coming out of the left over here, and you're going to go down through the next bead on the left hand side. You won't actually be threading on another bead for this left side. All of your left hand beads are already threaded. So then pick up two beads, like so, and you see this bottom bead right here? Bring your thread through and pull it nice and tight, just like that. This is how you do your double needle right angle weave.